I'm Mrs. B. Today we're going to be talking about line of symmetry using geoboards. If you're not familiar with a geoboard, they are square tools, either plastic or wood, with these pegs and rubber bands. They come in a squared side, and some of them also have sides where you can do circles. You can see here I've used the rubber band to make a semicircle. So a line of symmetry is an imaginary line that goes through the center of a shape or object and divides it into equal halves. You can see here with this blue rubber band I've divided the semicircle into two equal parts. And this is called symmetry when we have two equal parts. Got a few examples right here. The leaf, the apple, and the butterfly, when you divide them all down the very center, you can fold them over and make identical images. Shapes and objects that do not resemble each other when folded into two parts are called asymmetric. A couple of examples here, like the number 3, this teacup, or a truck. I've also created this shape here. There's no place here where you could put a rubber band that would make this symmetrical on both sides. Same thing with this triangle. If you draw here to here, straight down from this point, there's no line of symmetry. Both sides, it is asymmetrical. The sides are different. Same thing when you come from this point over halfway here. The sides will be asymmetrical. The line of symmetry can be horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. So we have an example here with this plus sign. I know it's kind of hard to see these rubber bands, but we have the horizontal line of symmetry. So when you fold the top to the bottom, they will be reflections of each other. Same thing when we go the line of symmetry from top to bottom. When we fold the sides over, they are identical. I have a few more shapes, objects here to indicate lines of symmetry. The letter H, the star, this flower has multiple points, as does this triangle. We've got a few more examples here. We have the semicircle. So we have this rectangle. I've got a couple lines of symmetry indicated here, the horizontal and the vertical, but we could also go diagonal. A fun fact with the line of symmetry is that circles have infinite lines. I've created some examples here, but the circle has infinite lines of symmetry. That means all points on a circle you could draw directly across from it and it would be equal on both sides. The line of symmetry is also called a mirror line or line of axis. A few more examples here. This top one and this bottom one, these do not have lines of symmetry. There's no point where you could draw a straight line and get a reflective side on both of them. This one does. You have this here. You could also go across. We have a larger example here. Okay, so we've used all the examples of lines of symmetry on my geoboards. These are some of the cards that came with the set I had, where students can create these images, and these are also good for working on lines of symmetry. For this one, the 6-point star, you could go top to bottom, or even side to side. It gives a couple of examples of shapes here for students to make, and they can count out the number of pegs to make sure that they are making the shape the correct size and dimensions. Here we have a butterfly that they can make. This also works for line of symmetry because you can see when you go straight down, it is symmetrical, but when you come across, it is asymmetrical. Same thing with the fish on this one. When you go horizontally, it is symmetrical, but when you go vertically, it is asymmetrical. This fox, doesn't matter which way you try to draw a line, it is asymmetrical. Same thing with the sailboat. We have an airplane, and this actually gives a good example of a diagonal line of symmetry. If you go this way, you can fold the top down to the bottom, and it is equal on both sides. But the tank, on the other hand, does not have a line of symmetry. Using Geoboards, you can do line of symmetry, time, even fractions work well with these. I picked up this set. It came with 4 Geoboards, a bunch of rubber bands, and these little example cards from Amazon. It's a great tool to have for students to learn a myriad of concepts. Have a good night.